You know, complete robbery. And listen, you judges who's watching, you need to sack me. I'd sack you on the spot if I was in control.
Well, you're very welcome to the Lightweight Boxing Show. We are on the road. We like to be on the road, Anthony. We are in the M31 gym in Partington, Manchester. Gary Booth's gym. Gary Booth, a very busy man. I think he wears just about every single hat a man in boxing can wear in terms of trainer, promoter. He was an amateur, was a pro fighter himself, of course, as well. We'll catch up with Gary a bit later on as well. But we're here. We've been watching April Hunter and Savannah Marshall, world champion, do a bit of sparring here with some local lads, and it's been really good to see both girls go through the paces, and the lads have been really enjoying it. I mean, a world champion coming to the gym, it's fantastic, isn't it?
Of course, it's a great experience for them, you know, as amateur fighters, sparring with professionals, a world champion in Savannah, and also in April, a prospect who they've seen on Sky Sports, and both have got big nights. April the 2nd, I'm sure it is, in Newcastle, so both girls looking great.
And of course, Peter Fury is the man in charge of both. He's in here. We're going to catch up with Peter a bit later on as well, of course. But Anthony, we're going to start because a lot has been said, as we know. I mean, it's a good few days on now from the Jack Catterall, Josh Taylor controversy. And again, I suppose really from a fighter's perspective, now that the dust hasn't really settled, it's still ongoing. People are still talking about it. I mean, I suppose first I've got to ask you, how did you score it?
Listen, I think we can dance around our own scorecards. The fact of the matter is, it was a really bad decision. It was a terrible decision. I had Jack, I think 3 or 4 up. I just don't see how you could see it any other way. You know, I'm a big Josh Taylor fan. But I thought Jack boxed the fight of his life, and I struggled to see how it could have been seen any different. I really do, and it's just a shame now. I know there's been a lot spoken about it, but he's had that night robbed of him. But not just that, I think. Listen, people say money comes and goes, but you ask 99% of fighters, and they're doing it to make things easier for their family. The win on Saturday night would have, I'll go as far as saying, would have secured the future of Jack's family. So that's the heartbreaking thing.
Now, as you said, and as I said before, a lot has been said. So we're not going to go over old ground now. We'll see how the whole thing develops. But from your own point of view, I remember speaking to you after Darlis Perez won. At the Manchester Arena. And again, you had a few incidents where you probably thought, I'll never come back from that. Not just the burglar incident when you had a concrete slab over your head and you shattered your ankle. That was one thing. When you had a world title in the bag, a fight coming up, that was gone. Then you had Perez, and that was taken away from you on the night because the draw, you won the fight. I think everyone on the night thought you won the fight. So put yourself, now we're trying to work out how Jack feels. You kind of had a taste of that.
So, like, I didn't, you know, without, this is totally different in the sense that I was very confident I was going to get a rematch, in the sense that because of the outcry, it was seen as a shocking decision. So at a public outcry, I thought there's a great chance I'm going to get a rematch. Whereas with Jack, it's all it was for the world title. Jack, it was for every belt in the division, you know, every meaningful belt in the division. Josh has since said he's going to move up, so there's not going to be a rematch at 140 for all the belts. So that was, you know, he's not going to get that again, and that's the really sad thing. And do I believe Jack will get a world title shot? Yeah, I think he'll get it next, and rightly so. But it won't be for the kind of purse that he would have got if it was for all 4 belts, undisputed. His profile has gone through the roof, and he's gained so much in defeat, even though it shouldn't have been a defeat. But the hard thing is, with Jack, he had that special night took away from him, where he should have been crowned on away soil, undisputed champion of the world.
Well, there was a time not so long ago when we were talking about an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and would it be in UK soil in terms of a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua clash? But well, this week we do know that Tyson Fury has been talking to the press. It was a one-handed presser because there was no Dillian Whyte, but one fella that was there was Seb Parkinson, and he caught up with the main players and, of course, watched the whole press conference unfold.
Champions bank on themselves to win. That's what they do to become the king. You win the title, you get the money. The 20% is there. Any good fighters, like Usyk did, went and beat Joshua, Now he's in the big time. Ruiz done the same thing. Tyson did the same thing.
What
going that way.
percentage was I on when I beat Klitschko? About 1%?
It wasn't. It wouldn't have been like that if you'd have been with me at the time. But that's what it was.
We're not going to go over old ground,
No,
Frank,
we're not
are we?
gonna
Or else
go
we're going to
there,
be
no,
scrapping much.
Yeah, it's been an absolutely roller coaster of a ride. I've been across the Atlantic Ocean in the exotic venues of MGM Grand, T-Mobile, Staples Centre, and I just feel like the song Thin Lizzy, the boys are back in town. 4 years away, and I get to come back and showcase on the world's biggest stage at Wembley Stadium with 100,000 people there. I'm just putting it on so the fans can come. The people who travelled to Las Vegas, not everybody was able to come. For the people who stayed up till 5 a.m. to see those fights on BT Sport, so now they can come and they can enjoy an event on home soil and be a part of history. And people will be talking about this event saying, where were you when this happened? I know Dylan White's going to come in prepared, and he's going to come in rugged and rough and game and aggressive, and he's got a big left hook, a big right hand, and who knows, it could be me chinned on night. But I think that both fighters are going for the knockout in this fight, and I just think when I land the Lancaster bomber on his jaw, it's going to be over. That could be in round 1, and it could be in round 6. I don't see it going past them, Frank.
No.
But I'm looking to put on an excellent night, showcase of knockout boxing for the UK fans, and then sing a load of songs afterwards and have a good time. And it doesn't matter if it's Dylan White, doesn't matter if it's Joe Joyce, Derek Chisora, Anthony Joshua, Usyk. It doesn't really matter. Wherever it will stop next, it's always going to be the Tyson Fury Roadshow. And like I said when I was fighting Klitschko, there's only been one man on these shores ever, and he goes by the name of Tyson Fury. I'm the only man on these shores. The only man who can deliver, pull it out every single time when the pressure's on. And even when I'm put down in twice in the 4th round, I will get back up and knock a motherfucker out. Because that's what I do. I always put a lot of pressure on myself, and like I say, if I can't look like Muhammad Ali boxing this guy, then I'm in the wrong position and I'm not as good as I think I am. I will chop him to bits, not a problem. I will smash his face right in. You're going to see a boxing masterclass. You're going to see the difference in levels. You're going to see the Ferrari racing the Vauxhall Corsa in a race, and that's the difference. There's levels to this game. I'm not saying Dylan White's not capable of winning a fight because he's won nearly 30 fights. But there's a gulfing difference in class here. You know, this man is a big old strong fella who can swing a big old hard punch in and knock a man's back out if he connects. But if I'm daft enough to get hit off him and knocked out, then I don't deserve to be world heavyweight champion, Frank. And going back on a little bit where you said it's unfortunate for him. No, he's getting the biggest payday of his life. And I'm not very good at maths, but how many 250 grands can we fit in 8 million? Can anyone tell me that? 32 times his biggest payday. So, unfortunate that. 32 times his biggest payday. He should be here today kissing my feet and washing my feet. Because I'm giving him 32 times his biggest payday that he'll ever get in his life. His only payday that he'll ever get in his life. So, I don't know about unfortunate. He's very lucky that he's in my era. He's very lucky to be receiving this amount of money. The man's only thing he's ever won is a British title, Frank. Correct. Only thing. And he's been banging on how we're all scared of him. But I've given him a new name anyway. He's called... Are you ready for it?
I'm waiting for this guy.
He's called Fury-Whyte Knickers. Okay? It's not Dillian White, it's Fury-Whyte Knickers. Because he's as soft as what it says in the title. You know, he has definitely shown the white flag today. All this social media stuff, I'm not promoting the fight, I'm not getting involved in mind games. You know, before I was like, you know what, when I say stuff about Dylan White, he always fires back and he gets upset and he causes a bit of a ruckus. Now it's like, say what you want about the guy, call him whatever you want, he's never even gonna, he's given me that much more confidence, it's unbelievable. It's like, I call this guy pig to a bull's foot, he doesn't even reply. He's like, terrified. He goes on, he's definitely shown the white flag in my estimation of this fight. He's the way he's going on about it, oh, I don't want to go face to face with Tyson. Of course he don't. Because you see that fire in my eyes and you think I'm getting killed. I'm getting smashed to bits. And that's what it is. It's fear. It's terror. It's all of the above. And I don't blame him for not being here today, Frank. Because if he was here, I'd have probably stretched him at the press conference. So it's a good job he's not here, because I'd be getting remanded in a London jail cell somewhere. But, yeah, the build-up of this fight, I think it'll be fantastic, because Tyson Fury versus his own shadow sells, for sure. And I will make sure that people are entertained. So if anyone wants to sing, dance off, come down here and we'll do it.
Can I just say, this is what happens. WBC put that fight out for negotiation. Made him the number one, put it out for negotiation. Neither side could agree terms. So the next stage is purse bids. Purse bids is definitive. The winner gets it, you've got a standard contract, and you sign it. There's no more negotiations. That's why you go to purse bids. But they want to have a negotiation after we won the purse bid. And we did agree certain things. You know, complimentaries and whatever. He's getting $8 million. Go and buy some tickets out of the $8 million. We've got to make this work. We're businessmen. We'll put this money up for a huge amount of money. And we're not getting any help. Do me a favour. It's getting $2 million more than you would have got had it been on Matchroom Show.
Frank, Tyson, Dillian and Eddie Hearn have made comments about the social media blackout. Tyson not being on social media to promote the fight, Dillian not promoting the fight, Eddie claiming that him not being involved is going to cost pay-per-views. How do you respond to that?
Well, we would say that. Why does he keep worrying about what we've done? He had his opportunity to win the fight. He didn't put a winning bid on. Get on with whatever he's doing. Why does he keep worrying about always what other people's shows are? He's always got something to say. You know, when we made Tyson against Wilder in the States, he won't show up, he won't fight, it's not going to happen. It's constant with him. It's all about him. We don't care. We put our money up, good money, record money up, biggest money for any two British heavyweights ever. That's what we put up. So I don't know what the problem is. You know, Tyson will promote this show. Of course, he's going to promote it. What he asked for was a bit of a break, not from being pestered by some people, so he could focus on his training. Of course, he's going to promote the fight. What was he doing today? He was here promoting it, accommodating to everybody, and that's how he is, because he is larger than life. You know, he's the guy that makes it all work. That's the reason he's getting 80% of the purse. That's the reason his last fight he got paid $20 million, because of who he is.
Do you think Dillian will promote this fight in any capacity at any press conference during fight week?
You know, look, you know what? Contracts work both ways. First of all, you know, we know where we're going with what his obligations are. So there'll be something. Obviously, we're not going to be sitting down and letting that just happen. But it also works what we have to deliver. So, you know, we too can play at that game. Not that I want to be petty or stupid. All I want to do is have a successful promotion. If he wants to play that game, we play that game.
Tyson Fury, the lightweight boxing show. Tyson, it's your first fight in 4 years in the UK. What does it mean to return home?
Fantastic, you know, I'm absolutely ecstatic to do this big fight over here at Wembley. I cannot wait.
You said you wanted to fight at Old Trafford. Why is this not in Manchester?
This is not in Manchester because the Capital City Stadium very rarely comes available for boxing matches. So I had to jump at the chance to do it here in the capital city of the United Kingdom, London. It's going down, cannot wait.
Dillian didn't show up.
Be there, be square.
Tyson, I've heard that you might be retiring after this fight?
Yep, fully retired after the fight. Don't call me because I won't answer the phone.
Well, we heard from Tyson, Frank Warren, of course, as well. Now, I mean, firstly, Tyson's going to retire after this fight, Anthony. I mean, again, Dillian wasn't there, but what do you make of that, firstly?
Do I believe he'll retire? I'm not so sure, but listen, you never know. You never know with Tyson. I mean, listen, with what's going on in the world right now, the chance of us seeing an undisputed champion might be for a bit yet, so there might be some truth in it. Obviously, listen, there's a lot being said about Dillian not showing up.
Yeah.
I think, listen, you know, my opinion is, yeah, of course he should be there. He should be there. But he's not, might not be contracted to. Do I agree with it? No, but he's not contracted to and he wants to play mind games himself, so be it.
Yeah, Frank wasn't very happy, was he? But they just had to get on with it, didn't they?
Yeah, of course they did. And in a way, maybe it drums up a little bit more attention around it.
Well, ticket sales apparently absolutely through the roof when they went on sale earlier this week.
I'm hearing a record. I think that just shows the popularity of Tyson. And Listen, Dillian's added a bit to that as well, but I think obviously Tyson's profile has gone through the roof over the last few years, and it's nice. It's going to be nice to see Wembley absolutely jam-packed again.
Don't want to get too serious, but obviously the world is a crazy place at the moment, and the Klitschko's, Alexander Usyk, Lomachenko, your old
Yes.
mate, they're all fighting for their country now. They've got bigger things for them, which is a terrible situation, we know that. So I think we can forget all about Joshua Usyk for the time being anyway. I mean, there are bigger things at play here.
Second,
of course it does. Of course it does. But anyway, we are, as I say, in the N31 gym. We've been watching April Hunter and Savannah Marshall go through the paces there. We're going to catch up with both of those in just a couple of minutes' time. But first, we wanted to speak to the big man, the main man here. We watched them go through the paces tonight as well. I mean, you've had them in your gym, obviously down in Congleton for a while. And I mean, how do you assess their progress, Peter?
I think Savannah's getting unbelievable, to be honest. I think she's just progressing. We're working on different stuff all the time. You know, it's not stagnated where we're just doing things, you know, working on everything in the book. And now we're working to her proper attributes where, you know, she's powerful. So we're just maximising that to less shots, but, you know, getting in range and being able to release quality shots without much exertion, if you understand me. Well, she's always had the stature, you know, the tallness, that long levers, you know, so it's just a matter of just breaking things down. And, you know, it takes years. This is, I think we've been doing it 4.5, 5 years now, and it's just over that time, it's just increased. The more relaxedness, the fluidity and everything else, getting the distance, being relaxed under pressure, being able to deliver back. Yeah, you know, all these type of things.
You can see it, yes.
You know, she's coming on, that's what I mean. She's just getting better and better. More mature as a fighter.
And then you're going to have Hughie back in action soon as well?
Yeah, we're looking mid to the end of April for Hughie. We're just tying down opponents, but we're looking all kinds of good opponents, you know. Luis Ortiz, you know, we're trying to get him at the minute. You know, Chisora, he's asking a fortune, so obviously he don't want it. Who else is there? Some good fights. We've got Alenius. The WBA's announced something there, so we're having a look at that. So nothing's tied down at the minute, but Hughie's going to be in a good fight. And you know, the type of names I'm mentioning, he's not after walkovers, he's after good fights. You know, so a
win against any of them kind of names are going to put him right.
Well, to be honest, Luis Ortiz is at the top of our list because I rate him above the others I've mentioned. So I'd rather Hughie fight Luis Ortiz to show the public where he is. When I give an opinion, it's not against the fighter because I respect all fighters and the trainers and everybody else. But, you know, a blind man with a stick could see who won that fight. You know, and it's, you know, robberies are going on. You know, whether it's you're fighting a unified champion, you got to knock him out to win. That shouldn't be like that, should it? You know, look, I scored the fight, 2 rounds even, probably 2 rounds to Josh, to be fair. The rest of it was a walkaway. You know, how do they score fights like that? You know, it's complete robbery. And listen, you judges who's watching, you need to sack me. I'd sack you on the spot if I was in control. You'd be sacked immediately because you don't know your job. That's it. Let's be open about it. If you want to say you've made the right decision, you ain't made the right decision. Yeah, you're cheating fighters that trained all their life. So if you're an ex-boxer and you've been in there, why are you doing that? You know, there's no respect. You got no respect. You don't give respect, you don't get it.
That's fair.
I just got to say what's on my mind. You know, I've had it done to me. I've had it done to me, lad. Just don't like it. It's wrong. Boxing shouldn't be like this. When Hughie fought Povetkin,
yes,
5 or 6 rounds, I said, yeah, you're doing all right. I said, now turn it up. Povetkin was too strong for him down the line. And I said to him in the corner, I said, look, you're losing that. And when the final bell come, I said, I've given Povetkin by 2 rounds. I didn't look up and say, oh, Hughie's been robbed, I thought he won. You're not blind in this game, are we? If you lose, you lose. The better man's won. Take it on the chin, come back and have another go at it. We're in this sport to be fair and treated fairly. You don't want to win falsely, do you?
Well, always good to hear from Peter Fury, and as we said a bit earlier, we're going to hear from April and Savannah very shortly, because it's not just about their boxing that's coming up. They've both got a big fight night on April the 2nd, but they're involved with a very, very important campaign. We're going to hear all about it, Keep the Beat, in association with Maverick Stars as well. And as we'll hear, it's something that's very close to both girls' heart, particularly April, so we'll hear more about that in a minute. But of course, we do like to send you a little bit left field, Anthony, every week as well. This is your favourite bit, of course, because it's all from your head. Nothing to do with anybody else. You like to let loose, so here it is. It's Crolla's Corner.
You've got a close-knit gym, but there's one person in your gym who you can avoid on a night out. Who is it?
Popeye the Sailor Man.
You can train any Newcastle player, past or present, for a fight. Who do you pick?
Favourite ever?
Yeah.
It's got to be Shearer, mate, hasn't it? Come
Alan
on.
Shearer.
Michael. Come on, Michael, go and show your face.
There's 3 people you can choose around the dinner table.
Only 3?
Yeah, you only have 3 table. 4 of you.
Right.
April, Peter, Hughie.
That's
Sorry,
lovely.
Michael.
Do you remember Jack Edwards?
Remember Jack Edwards? Well, used to manage my dad.
Your dad?
Yeah.
First 2?
Wrongly on death row. What's your final meal?
Probably egg and chips or something.
Egg and chips, something as simple as that.
Something simple, yeah. Always the best. Bit of tomato sauce on it, that'll do.
Lomachenko.
Oh. You just wanted to get that in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Roast.
Sunday
roast, beef,
All the trimmings.
roasties, mash, puddings, Bisto
That's
gravy.
the go-to April the 3rd then.
Meat pie, chips and curry.
Curry? I didn't know it was coming
Chinese.
then. Really?
Yeah,
That's an
definitely.
odd one. Chinese curry with your
Yeah.
meat pie and chips.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a film of your life. Who plays you? It'd be a
Victoria
Newcastle
Beckham.
player. Victoria Beckham.
Right, this is actually quite funny this. So have you seen the film Monster?
What a film. Charlie Theron.
Charlie Theron's one,
Yep.
which is unreal. Have
Yeah,
you seen the
and
last?
that- yes.
What do you think of it? It's when I get out of the shower and crack a joke saying I look like Eileen.
What a film, by the way.
Mate,
what a film.
But yeah, when she brushes up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, she's
Like
lovely.
me, model.
Yes.
No, I'm joking.
See it.
Probably a lunatic.
Well, we've been watching the sparring here at the M31 gym in Partington, and obviously, as you can see, April Hunter and Savannah Marshall have joined us now. And firstly, Anthony, I know we've got a bit to get through with these two, but you're wearing your Maverick Stars t-shirts. I know that you're big supporters of the campaign Keep the Beat about providing defibrillators to amateur gyms up and down the country. It's been really successful, 50 gyms benefiting, and I know it's so personal for you, April, so just give us a little idea of why you wanted to get involved with this.
Well, I think the defib thing, obviously I lost my cousin a few years ago, and I've been really passionate about this one with Charlotte. When we come together, this was the main one we wanted to get involved with, and I've managed to get lucky enough to get Savannah to jump on board and back it, which we're really lucky for, and give back to amateur boxing as well, which has obviously changed my life in the process as well, so I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, you've also got Shay Given, part of the Geordie Nation in his own way, if you know what I mean, Newcastle legend involved. But from your own point of view, Savannah, I know that you've spoken really well as well about the importance of defibs for these amateur gyms.
Yeah, it's really important. Obviously, being good friends with April and learn about the tragedy, what happened with Paul, and how we could have been saved if someone knew CPR or if there was a defib in the area. So I didn't really know much about it until she told me, and it's crazy to think that, you know, a defib can and has saved so many lives.
We've seen it recently anyway, across sport, haven't we, Anthony? You know, young people that have fallen foul to cardiac arrest, and if there is that CPR knowledge and if there is a defib available, so many lives are saved.
You know the heartbreaking thing is you said there, your cousin, he could have easily passed away. He could have easily been saved, you know, with this. But now this could potentially, if it saves one life, it's a worthy campaign.
That's it, Crolla. The defibs that were already put in place on the PG CPR, I think we had 7. Anyways, we've saved 7 lives. I don't know how many defibs we got, but now we've got 50. So can you imagine what 50 can do if 7 lives have been saved already?
It's a great campaign that you've got behind, honestly. I think you'd be really proud of yourself.
It's a fantastic campaign, and it's going to keep going Maverick Stars as well with Charlotte Gilly, the founder. She's been a bit shy at the minute, but anyway, we'll have a chat with her later on. But
get her wrong.
Anyway, yeah.
She wants to jump in.
You're both getting ready, of course, for a big fight night in Newcastle, April the 2nd. I know you've got a defence of your world title against Femke Hermans, an opponent yet to be his name. But what kind of a night are you expecting? I mean, it's going to be wild up there, isn't it?
Well, did you see the reception last time? Like, obviously, I know my night didn't go to plan, but we'll be putting that right April 2nd. And when Savannah headlined, the atmosphere was just unbelievable. Like, she even jumped on the ropes, man. That's how good it was. she doesn't do that, so...
I blanked that out. Never happened.
Another night like that, I think it'll be amazing, and I'm just happy, you know. I'm going to be on the undercard and be mate defending our world title, so just get back to winning ways and get things rolling.
No, I've said it for a bit. I think you've heard me, but I'm always banging on about the amateur setup in the North East, you know, some of the clubs around there, and I always say how you get behind your own, especially sort of like, you know, the Burley lot and so on. But Savannah, have you noticed more and more now, being around Newcastle, you're getting more notice, you're becoming a superstar down there? Have you noticed that when you're out?
100%. I think, especially with people in the North East, the support their own,
Yes.
and even everyone in sport. I mean, people in the North East owe Ritson for bringing boxing back.
Yeah,
Massively.
And like I said, the amount of people that turned up for the last fight in October was unbelievable. The response was unbelievable. So I'm expecting I'm expecting a tough testing for me, but I'm really looking forward to April the 2nd.
I think just even like the smaller shows you've been on the Fight Zone ones, you've seen Tommy Hodge and Joe Laws, the support all these North East fighters bring. It's
love it. The biggest bunch of lunatics. They travel as well.
So I think boxing's really healthy in the North East, and all these new promoters coming about. It's great for the sport.
I'd like to see Clarissa Shields in the North East, because I loved that interview with you and her afterwards when you met recently in Cardiff, and when you were talking at her, she had not got a clue what you were saying. I know you're from Hartlepool.
She did.
I'm
She
really
did.
not sure she did. I'm really not sure she did. I'd love just some of the Geordies talking to her up there and getting a fight out on there would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh, 100%. I think she's coming. Well, she's been invited, whether or not she turns up or not. I've got a receipt right in between my mum and dad.
Good luck.
That'll be eventful.
I was thinking, Savannah, obviously that's the fight that gets spoke about, and that's the fight that everyone wants to see. Biggest fight that can be made in the women's game. You're the one who sells the tickets. There's a great chance it does come to Newcastle.
Yeah, 100%. I think it'd be stupid to have it anywhere else. And I'm grateful that she's coming to the UK, because she could have wanted it over there, but she's willing to travel, which is fantastic. And I think that's what makes it such a great fight. Yeah. Obviously, the past 2 years, I think the only good thing to come out of COVID was female boxing getting recognised in the UK.
Yeah.
I'd love to just build on, the massive support that female boxing's got at the minute.
Well, good to hear from April and Savannah. I look forward to April the 2nd as well, when both are in action in Newcastle. And you were in action a little bit earlier as well. So, a little pause in play. You were a bit busy there with young Oscar.
Yeah, he's what a fighter. He's one of a future champion here at Gary Booth's gym. He looks really well.
Yeah, little Oscar Walsh there, who's pleased as punch as well with his little impromptu pad session. But now, before we go, Anthony, we've got to get your prediction for the fight of the weekend. It's Chocolatito in against Martinez. So how does that go?
Do you know what? I think there's a slight upset, with checking the odds. I think the relentlessness of Martinez being in the Reynoso camp, I really do just fancy it. It's not a massive upset, but I just think Chocolatito, an amazing fighter, massively underappreciated over the years. But I just think the relentlessness of Martinez keep coming. I fancy him to do it.
Well, it has been a great session here at the M31 gym in Partington in Manchester, Gary Booth's gym. And we said about Gary before, he's done every single job there is in boxing, amateur and pro. So great to see him thriving in this fantastic gym here as well. And that's about it. We'll be on the road again next week. It's ahead of, obviously, Lee Wood and Conlon.
Cannot wait for it. One of the, for me,
Wood.
potential fight of the year.
And we've seen a few already as well. So keep watching the Lightweight Boxing Show. This is where it's all happening. Catch us next week.